Oh, well, we just finished that.
Yeah.
That was
Did.
fun. Hi, Zach and Mira are here.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey,
Hello. I would like to announce to everyone there will be spoilers for House of the Dragon season 2 in this video.
there'll be spoilers for
100%.
House of the Dragon season, all of them in this video.
Yeah, for season all of
Yeah.
them. All right. So if this isn't something that you want to see, maybe come back later. It's fine.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Dragon's
Yeah, come
Den.
back after House of the Dragon is completely done with its entire run, and then see if we were correct in all our predictions.
Yeah,
We
let's
might
see if
also spoil. Well, hold on. We might also spoil the Dunkin' Egg show.
that's also true. Honestly, that's the danger of watching anything in the A Song of Ice and Fire YouTube space.
It's all connected. It's
Uh-huh.
all
Yeah.
connected.
Well, like I feel like if you're watching a channel that's predominantly about the books, like you just have to expect that they're gonna spoil the books,
Yep.
you know.
Yeah, and the show may or may not follow the books, which will be a topic of discussion today.
Correct. All right, we're going back. Woo! So, if this is not something that you want to see, I would probably not watch this video. It's gonna be spoilerific.
Very much so.
Yeah.
uh, uh, I mean, let's start talking about it. Like we've been talking about leaks. I would love to talk about. I would love to rehash that Nettles discussion that we had a little while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Go
will.
ahead, Zach.
I'll stake my claim here because I was the one who instigated this debate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, leaks say that Nettles has been cut and her character has been folded. I can't remember into which one of Damon's daughters, Bella or uh,
I think
uh,
Bela.
Bela. Sorry, of course it's pronounced Bela. It can't be pronounced non-Targaryen. And then uh, there's also apparently no Daeron. Am I mispronouncing that one also? I suck at Targaryen names famously. I can remember Aegon and Aemon usually, but
Yeah.
he might not be in this season either. Which is gonna, if they do introduce him, it's gonna feel rushed, and if they don't, it's gonna cause problems. And I feel the same way about Nettles. There's ways you
Well,
can cut them out a little bit, but it damages the story in my mind. I am weary of Tom. You said they can't do Game of Thrones again. They can't repeatedly. I am not of that opinion.
They can't.
They
They can't do
totally
it
can Game of
again,
Thrones.
right?
They could absolutely Game
They
of
can't.
Thrones.
They can't hurt us again.
well, Sapochnik left, so that was a thing.
HBO
That
HBO is still here, and what I've learned from the history of every show on HBO is that HBO hates making good television and has only ever done it on accident.
right, but so what I'm saying is part of the reason, like the only things that were good toward the end of Game of Thrones were because of Ryan Condal and Miguel Sapochnik. Like they were the two
Oh, yeah.
people giving us any scraps of anything good. And so the two of them teamed up to form like the incredible dynamic duo that gave us such a wonderful season one. But Sapochnik has left the project now. So I'm saying that bodes ill. That Ryan
Oh,
Condal is very good, but I think without Sapochnik, I think it might not be as strong, you know, and it might be because I think Condal is more the brains behind the writing and like the soul of the characters. But Sapochnik is the person who gave us just these beautiful shots. Just everything was like I felt like I could pause it at any moment and it looked like a painting, you know?
Every
yeah.
single scene in that show is beautiful. Like I think about High Tide. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's so pretty.
Yeah, or
I
like it was so I just did my serious breakdown of episode 9, and like the opening shots of episode 9, you can tell that it is about 4 a.m. and there's a full moon. Like that is the level of attention to detail. Like you can tell the type of moonlight coming in through the windows. You can hear the birds outside, so you know it's closer to dawn than it is to midnight. Like gorgeous.
yeah. Hey,
Um,
but my problem is with uh Sapochnik? Am I
Yeah,
this is another fantastic episode of Zach mispronounces names. Uh, he directed The Long Night and The
he did.
Bells. So I don't think those last seasons gave us the best example of his strengths, unfortunately.
Well, but he
He did do
also
some
did.
very good episodes. He did the first episode of House of
Yeah,
Dragons, six and seven.
but
One of
Zach,
them also has the day for night problem.
the problem with
Yeah,
season 8 was not the direction; it was the writing.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Look, The Long Night also looks like shit.
The Long Night looks fantastic as long as you turn the light down.
yeah.
If
Like,
you're watching it on a 20-foot by 10-foot screen in the dark, it looks great.
I took too many film classes to apologize for day for night.
yeah. It's kind of rolling back a little bit. I think Sapochnik has a certain attention to detail that other directors and well, no, you know what? I think he is staying on as a producer. I think he won't be directing any more episodes, so I'm fine with this.
Oh, that's different than what I heard. That makes me very happy.
Yeah,
Um,
I think he's not going to be as directly involved, but he's not totally walking away, if I'm remembering correctly.
okay,
So,
good. Because I had heard that he was like, maybe it's perhaps possible I didn't hear this, but I interpreted something I read as he is leaving the project.
well,
Um,
and that was what I read first, but then as I was reading more, it sounded like he was staying on as like a backseat in a backseat producer role.
because I had this thought where I was like, oh no, if he's like leaving and it's due to creative problems, that doesn't bode well at all.
Yeah.
No. So what I heard is that like he never intended to stay on, like he was already getting itchy to do other things. So like he basically said he would come on for season 1 of House of the Dragon as like a transition person to help them get it on its feet. But then I also heard that he wanted to bring his wife in for something and that like the other people in charge vetoed that and he got pissy. I don't know if that's true. That's just what's in the tabloids.
Hmm, interesting.
Um,
All right, Zach. So you do you have anything more to make on your Nettles case? Because I'm happy to respond to this.
I think there's a way you can write her out, but it requires you to slow down a little bit and like really build up that story with a character who is not originally meant for it, which means you have to write more episodes, which they're not doing. There's only 8 episodes this season, and the rumor's been
oh,
HBO has been rushing them. In fact, they came out and said they wanted 10 episodes and were only given 8, which concerns me that it's not a cut because the writers wanted it. It's a cut because HBO said have fewer characters. And uh, also, if I wanted to point out where things started to go wrong in the Bad Dragon show, it's when they started cutting out characters who are absolutely necessary to the plot. Uh, I think if I had to come up with 5 biggest mistakes they made, all 5 of them for Game of Thrones would be cutting this character from the story.
well, cutting the character from the story and then not replacing them with anything else. So, like, one thing
Yeah.
Blightus pointed out in his piss take that, like, Euron was such a terrible endgame villain that what they could have done was kept Balon. That
Yeah.
was and because he was already established, we knew him. He could have been like the end game villain and that would have been really resonant for Asha and Theon. So like there are ways and so this was what I was thinking is like Bela and Rhaena don't really do much during the dance,
Yeah,
and
their
these are
role is after.
right, these are characters who we have grown attached to in the show. And so especially now with Luke dead, because Luke was betrothed to Bela, right?
Yeah.
You know, y-
Oh gosh, the names and promises are so hard.
yeah, like I can never remember which one is betrothed to, but I think it was Luke was betrothed to Bela.
Mhm.
So now with Luke dead, I think there's a lot you could do with Bela's character, and so I don't think. Tom, to paraphrase what you said, like I won't be mad if they cut Nettles and the show is good. Like, I won't be mad if they cut Nettles and give Bela a much larger role within the story. And I think there are a lot of very compelling places that her story could go. Like, now that her betrothed is dead, and she has this whole thing of like not having had a dragon and feeling neglected by Daemon. Like, Bela has like she is in a very emotionally resonant position for the audience, so I think building on that rather than introducing some random girl, you know but
Yeah.
yeah, but I think you're right, like just cutting Nettles a la Game of Thrones, just eliminating the storyline completely, I think would absolutely suck.
Yeah,
Yes.
because there are some load bearing characters that are missing from the story because
Yeah.
uh if you're gonna tell the story, and part of my like the fall of Rhaenyra in the book is wonderfully tragic because you understand exactly how she gets to the place where she starts making repeated bad decisions one after the other. You never get it directly. You can see her deteriorate. I worried that if you start to pull so many of those things and so many like Daeron being a threat that's out there, and her feeling betrayed that Nettles might possibly be the paramour and also daughter of uh, um, Daemon, and her like dragon seeds all betraying her. You see everything that leads her to the point where she has severe trust issues that causes her downfall. I totally get that. If you cheapen that at all, it's going to feel like she just became very stupid at the end of the conflict, and that's an insult to a very well written character. And I don't want the last season of House of the Dragon being Rhaenyra suddenly becomes dumb like Tyrion did in Game of Thrones, and that's why she loses.
Yeah, and I guess that was kind of what I was thinking is like, uh, if Rhaenyra is feeling threatened, that like Daemon has lost confidence in her and is wanting to replace her with Bela. I think you get that very emotionally resonant uh storyline.
Yeah, she might
Yeah,
even start to feel like Damon is considering replacing her line of succession with his line of succession.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, like and we know that Daemon killed his wife before to
Oh,
achieve his own
yeah.
ends, that like
yeah.
Rhaenyra might be worried. It's like, oh well, I'm old now, he doesn't need me anymore.
That's never come up. That has not come up yet. That has not come up between Damon and anyone but that one Royce. Um, and oh god, Jace is uh, just stopped by the Erie.
Hmm.
Um, so like he running through the Erie, he's gonna hear about that and bring that news back. Which could start to put some of those seeds into Rhaenyra's head. On top
Hmm.
of that, I don't remember which, but either Bela or Rhaena ends up staying for some time in the Eyrie, um, which could make for some interesting drama.
Hmm.
Ooh, hmm, hmm, hmm. Uh, okay, let's. Uh, uh, my take is the same as yours, Mira. Um, I my position is like if they completely cut the ambiguity surrounding Rhaenyra's kids' parentage, right? They completely cut that subplot, 100%, right? It
Hmm.
is it is not a even a thought to the audience. Um,
It's blatant. Yeah,
yes, and I do not think that that makes it a worse show. I think it makes it a much different dynamic. But I don't think it makes it worse at all. Um, they could if there is a way where they completely cut Nettles, that I think could be totally fine. It could also be a disaster, um, but the whole show could be a disaster. So I'm excited to find out. Uh, and
Yeah.
and as I've been saying, Zach, I've been saying this for maybe a year and a half. Uh, Laenor's alive. Laenor's alive. We live in a different timeline. We live in a different timeline, everybody.
Yep.
Get ready for it to be different. It's gonna be very different. At any point, Laenor could rock up through the front door.
Yep.
uh, every piece of political interaction must needs be different now, since Laenor is alive. And I find that so fun.
Yeah, because like that actually makes all of Rhaenyra's children with Daemon illegitimate.
Oh, 100%. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Rhaenyra does not have a legitimate child at all now.
Yes. Rhaenys's conflict with Rhaenyra is very complicated now. Um. Uh. Uh. Oh goodness. Yeah, she doesn't have any. So even.
So,
So
oh,
Baela and Rhaena are even higher in the line of succession.
yeah, and well, and the
Ooh.
thing is, Daemon knows that Laenor is alive,
Wait a minute.
so that
Oh, go ahead.
could be, Rhaenyra could be worried not only that Daemon's going to kill her and get rid of her, but like, if Daemon outed the fact that Laenor is alive, or Daemon went and brought Laenor back, that would delegitimize um Aegon 3 and Viserys. Um, yeah, yeah,
What a fantastic point. Oh, that's excellent. They were necessarily born in a marriage that could be annulled at any time. Uh, like instantly snapping Baela to the crown princess.
yep,
Hold on one
yep.
second. Talk amongst yourselves. I need to mute myself. I like how I say
Um,
talk amongst yourselves, and sometimes just nobody talks.
Yeah.
yep. Oh, what was I going to say? That losing my mind. Oh, this was something I can't remember if it came up with you guys. That Corlys might have run into Laenor in the Stepstones.
Oh hell
Um,
yeah!
so Corlys might also know that Laenor is alive.
It would be wild for him to not tell Rhaenys though.
Well, but I mean, like, it was like the end of episode 10. Corlys came out of the coma. You
Oh, that's a
know.
good point. That's a good point.
So I think, yeah, because that was the thing. Like, he came back and he was ill, and like they didn't speak until that moment. So I think, um, yeah, I think absolutely. Like, I don't know if we're going to, but we could have that moment toward at the beginning of season 2 of like Corlys revealing to Rhaenys that Laenor is alive.
I'm just gonna be like, while we're talking, I'm just gonna be like hopping through this trailer and looking at pictures of dragons. Look at that
Yeah.
dragon.
Yeah, the dragons look
Oh,
nice.
Daeron.
Yeah, let's talk
So
about Daeron.
in season 1, we see 4 bloodlines emanating from Viserys and Alicent.
We
So that
do.
would be Aegon, Aemond, Helena, and Daeron.
Yeah.
So and Daeron canonically, like in the book, would be in Old Town at this point, right?
Yeah. He fostered with
Yes.
the High Towers. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, he really does not make an appearance until Act 3. Like, even as I was reading the book, like I kind of forgot he existed. So I think Daeron not appearing this season, I think is fine. It does not preclude
I
him appearing later.
I think you just need to set him up. Is that like if he shows up out of nowhere and it's like, oh, we've always had another brother with a dragon,
Y-
the audience's head's gonna spin. He just hasn't been like the extra bloodline flowing is only meaningful if you've read the book. If you haven't, if you're shown Leon this, there is just gonna be a like he's been part of the family, turns to camera too, and always has been moment.
Yeah, and this is where I think there are two ways that they could do this. Way number one would be the way Stannis was set up in book 1 and season 1. Like, we were kind of hearing about Stannis, but we didn't see him until book 2, season 2. So like if we hear about Daeron in season 2 and then see him in season 3, I think that's fine. The other thing they could do is we don't know how many children Aegon has. So
Yeah, that's
much
what I
like
was
we were
thinking. Is he could be the eldest son of Aegon rewritten? is the
Yeah,
character, and it could
yeah,
just be
and
like I have a son who I sent away, sort of thing.
I have a son with a hatchling who I sent away to keep him safe, and I like that actually might be stronger, because like we saw all of Alicent's like babies, or like we saw, most of like the pregnancy or the baby or whatever. So there might be still kind of that, why are we just hearing about him now? Uh
Something that I've kind of speculated on. I have like if I got creative
mhm.
control.
Here, you,
Um
you cut out for a second, Tom.
oh sorry. Testing.
You still cut out.
Oh no. Oh
Oh,
no,
there we go.
is my internet dying? Uh-oh.
Uh, you're back now.
Okay, cool. Hello everybody. Um Something I have always thought could be interesting would be if like I think that the smoothest way to do it would be like honestly the cold open of season 2 being Daeron, right? Because all of the letters of like what happened in the last 2 episodes, like no one else knows yet. No one outside of like the heads of state, no one outside Rhaenyra's camp and Alicent's camp really even know that Viserys is dead. And if they do,
Hmm.
that's all they know. They do not know that full war has broken out. So I imagine that an interesting way they could do it could be like a quick little montage of word traveling around the Seven Kingdoms, and having one of the birds get to one of the high towers and having Daeron be called in to like Otto Hightower's brother, talking to Daeron and introducing him.
Yeah,
I think that could be interesting.
yeah. Although I thought like, well, and we're kind of ignoring some of the like the things that we've heard, because I thought we heard that Daron would not be appearing in season 2.
Oh, if that is the case, I retract everything I just said.
Well,
That
100%
and
of it.
has been apparently leaked, so take that with a grain
w-
of salt. But that is
well, I don't know if it was like a true leak or if it's just nobody saw him in the trailer, so they're assuming.
Yeah, and that's how leaks work a lot of the time. I am always hesitant to trust them because because sometimes that is what they are. It's just someone speculated on this confidently and a whole bunch of people took it up. And
so.
Yeah.
now that it's in a
Well,
bunch
okay.
of listicles, it's really hard to get rid of.
We Ryan Condal says Darren remains to be seen, which tells us exactly nothing.
Yeah, I mean, that's zero
Yeah.
information. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah. Remains to be seen, but so I think, like I was saying, I think having kind of like a Stannis thing, like he's talked about, but not shown on screen yet, I think would be fine.
I think that could
Because
be very helpful.
you do need Daron or someone to fulfill that role in the story, like if they give Aegon another son, which do we want to talk about the thing?
Oh yeah, let's talk about the thing. Let's talk about the thing, because one of the lines in the trailer was Aegon the Second being like, something like, "I don't want battle, I want vengeance," something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want
Yeah.
justice. Yeah.
Yeah. What do we think that that's about, team?
I think because the first episode's called "A Son for a Son," that takes place after Blood and Cheese. It has to.
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think Blood and Cheese is going to be episode 1.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yes, I think it'll be the end of episode 1, and that's the beginning of episode 2. I think we talked about this in one of our videos, Tom. That we did actually. That this is going to be what drives him to push Otto Hightower. Also, is that he's going to lay out a war plan that is good for everybody winning, and Kristen Cole's going to be like, "They just murdered your kid. Fire the old fart and let's get some revenge."
Yep.
Yeah, like no, why are we doing this polite diplomatic tactic? Let's go fire and blood.
Ooh, and that's going to be the other thing that like destabilize his confidence, because in the Green Council they were talking about like there are still men in the city loyal to Daemon. We'll find them and root them out. So that could cause friction between like Alicent and Larys, or Otto and Larys, because Larys is the person that is their intelligence person. That Massaria, like I think we're gonna see more of this spy battle of like you were supposed to identify the Daemon loyalists and you failed. You know.
I saw her in the trailer and I had this like, oh yeah, she's a character kind of moment. Oh yeah, she's in this show.
Oh yeah, I like her.
Yeah. Yeah, there were like characters who didn't really appear in like there was no Larys in the trailer.
Yeah.
There was no Tywin Lannister in the trailer. And like those
Yeah.
are gonna be two major players.
Oh, we haven't talked at all about. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. Any one of it. Let's see. We haven't talked about. Oh, come on, where are they at? Where are you at? Oh yeah, here we go. We haven't talked about all the Winterfell. Look at that. Look how snowy
Yeah.
that is. That doesn't even look like the like Winterfell. That looks like the wall.
I was
I
about to
think
say
that
it
is the wall.
looks like they went up to the wall. Yeah, because it's the like vast sea of
Ooh.
Is
clouds
that
and everything.
is this ice,
Ooh,
by the way?
Oh, that's
I
ice for
think
sure.
so.
Hell
And
yeah.
ooh, are we
The
gonna
interesting thing
see
about them going to
Jace?
the walls, we could get the scene of the dragon not wanting to go further, right? With the dragon freaking
Yeah,
out.
that was exactly what I was gonna say, except the show canon ruined that with Daenerys.
Just casually flying past the wall.
Yeah.
The only way that my headcanon can get around that is if Daenerys went around by way of Eastwatch, because the Jon and friends went north from Eastwatch. So if Daenerys flew up the coast and then past like Hardhome,
Yeah.
that's gonna be my headcanon for the show. I mean, the show
Yeah.
sucks, and Beyond the Wall is like one of my least favorite episodes.
Same.
But I think they could still do that if um if that's how it went with Daenerys.
Yeah, I could be okay with that.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me find some more. Yeah, is there some Winterfell in here?
Which that's actually kind of the basis for my wall theory of like why the others might want to contribute to building the wall is to keep the dragons out, to
Ooh,
keep the
that's fun.
dragons from burning the weirwoods. Yeah.
Okay, so we for sure have, and I'm sure he's in here somewhere. We for sure have Cregan Stark, right? There's definitely some Cregan Stark in here, right? There's another scene, there's another shot where we get more of him, but this is for sure. That's for sure. Cregan is back to the camera here, right? Bonk, bonk, bonk. No, it's just not gonna. You're not gonna find it for me. There it is. This is for sure Cregan. I assume this is Cregan and
Yeah.
Jace.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
assume so. We don't
Uh,
see Sarah Snow, so I'm gonna call it right now that they're gay.
Oh, who is the redhead that we got like a shot of the back of a red-haired girl?
I will see if I can find it. I also like to
Yeah, because
like. I'd like to like hunt through these northern shots.
I think because I've been seeing leaks like all over Twitter and Facebook and everything. I think like what they said is like Sarah Snow is not going to be like playing a prominent role, but that Sarah Snow like is in it because like and if we think about it in the book, it was like one person was speculating that Jace hooked up with Sarah Snow. But he came back without her and nothing more was said about it. So I think that might be like a rumor to discredit him because he is Rhaenyra's heir. He is like once Rhaenyra is queen, or now that she is queen, Jace is the heir apparent. So if you want to like besmirch his name, him cheating on his betrothed while he's up north would be one way to do that.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's like tier one mudslinging, right? That's not even the stuff they gotta think about, right? They throw that out no matter what the problem is. Uh, uh,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's absolutely reasonable. I have a
Yeah.
very very brief sidebar. Can I get somebody to make a meme out of this face? That's just such a fucking good face. That's so good.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. Oh my god. She has such good facial expressions. It's so good.
She
Oh,
does.
Everyone in this show is such a good actor. I love them
yeah.
all so much.
So that was something interesting. So one of the things, which hopefully, are you gonna put this out like right now?
Probably this weekend.
Okay. Yeah, you wanna catch that rising tide. So
Hell
I don't
yeah.
know which will come out first, but I'm putting out my defense of season 1, episode 9. And one thing that the show does, I think, really well is choosing how the characters address each other, like by what name or what title. Um, Aemond calls his mother Alicent in this preview.
Ooh. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Dragon. We talk about Sunfire, by
Um,
the way. Not
yeah.
an exact. Can I get that as a meme too, please? Yeah.
That's a very different meme than the last one. Although the one looking at the other would be a good meme format.
Can I just get over here in impact font when someone takes the last chicken nugget?
That was not where I was going with that one, but
Where were you
uh,
going, Zach? What's over here? Tell me.
that that is a face you make when something is coming out of some part of your body,
Oh
and
God.
No.
it's up to you to interpret what and where and in what context.
Yeah, steam coming out of your ears. You nasty people.
Mm, um,
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
I
Yes.
I gotta say, this is the best dragon design in the whole show.
Oh hell yeah. How dare you talk that way about Vagar?
Vhagar is great.
She looks like
However,
Godzilla.
yes.
Oh, this is like a big, wonderful wiggly worm. I love him so much.
I
He
love the
makes
wiggly worms.
he makes such weird Jurassic Park noises. I love him so much. I'm just so excited. I just love this show. It feels so good to be excited about Game of Thrones again.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh, we haven't even talked about the outfits. The outfits are also incredible. There's this one where what is it this one? Where she's wearing no, this is the same one. There's one where she's wearing like raven feather shoulder pauldrons or something. It's fucking so cool. Oh, yeah, damn. Look at this. Oh god. Somebody needs to talk about something because
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be nerding out over here. Oh my god! Ooh,
Oh,
who's this?
do we wanna talk about Laenor? I was trying to think of all the things we talked about like before we started recording.
Yeah, before we do, who the hell is this? That's not Sea Smoke.
Hold on.
That's
I can't
not
see.
Sea Smoke. Tim. That's not. This is white hair.
Yeah,
I guess it could be blonde. Could be Sunfire.
Or
It's too small to be. It could
well,
be.
Rhaenyra
Oh, go
Rhaenyra
ahead.
has a dragon, right?
Yeah, is her? Yeah, but her dragon. Well, I was gonna say her dragon's is really small at this point, but this
I
is a
mean, that
pretty small
dragon
dragon.
looks
Yeah,
pretty small,
this is a
yeah.
pretty small dragon. Yeah, this could be. Yeah, that's a good one. Could be. Absolutely. Hell yeah. Oh my god, the dragons look so good. Look at this. Look
Yeah.
at this freaking dragon. It's so good. It's amazing. Okay, you talk about Laenor now. Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave this up here while we're talking about Laenor, because I'm gonna sit here and stare at that and try to figure out if that's sea smoke. No, sea smoke would be bigger than that.
Yeah, well, so we were talking about Nettles and Daeron, and so yeah, and like that I wouldn't be upset if they gave Nettles' storyline or like most of Nettles' storyline to Bela. In the same way that like either Adam or Alan Velaryon, I would not be terribly upset if Laenor came back and took on that storyline and like basically like, like let's say maybe his face gets scarred fighting in the Stepstones. So like you can tell he's a Velaryon, but maybe like, people who didn't know him very well might not recognize him as Laenor. That he comes back and pretends to be like a Velaryon bastard. I would not be mad at that at all.
Uh, I'm so happy to rehash one of my favorite theories we've ever made. We made this right after the end of the last season. I think it's called the Lost Sellsword. I speculate that Laenor is coming back. Zach, do you remember the name of the character? He's like
Adam of Hall.
no. That's the common speculation. I speculate that he's coming back as there's like a mummer.
Oh, Trumbo.
Yes, Black Trombo.
Black
Yes,
Trumbo.
yes. Uh a leader of a sellsword company.
Oh.
I think always masked. And he's the one who
Oh.
orchestrates like those like nightmare picnics in the middle of the woods.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And like he rocks back up, just in time to be the one to kill Kristen Cole. Hell yeah,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
Let's
that
go,
would be
Laenor.
incredible.
I would absolutely love it if Laenor got to kill Kristen Cole as revenge for killing Joffrey
Yes,
Lonmouth.
Yes.
yes, exactly.
Yup, you killed Joffrey Lonmouth, right? You killed my boyfriend. You started a war, and you got at least two of my stepkids killed, you piece of shit. I'm gonna shoot you in the chest with a crossbow, and then I'm gonna have my dragon eat you.
Yep.
Right? And then like Adam of Hull, who is riding Sea Smoke, right? And then we have like this like ghost reuniting with John moment where Sea Smoke like his I guess his like half brother is now the rider of Sea Smoke, but he like comes over and he pets Sea Smoke, just really scritches him behind the ears, and then Sea Smoke fucking eats the body of Kristen Cole.
Well, so here's the interesting thing is, and we might actually see this, and I'm sorry to keep plugging my stuff, but everybody go watch my dragon video after you watch this that
Everybody
I just
go.
put up.
Yeah, go watch it.
That I think maybe this generation of dragon riders isn't properly bonded to their dragons. That they were perhaps missing part of the ritual. Um, so the way that we understand the story, a new rider can't bond to Sea Smoke while Laenor is alive, and they did um the Dragon Keepers in King's Landing say that in episode 6. They say that to Luke, that once you are bonded as dragon and rider, they won't take direction from anyone else. But if Laenor was never properly bonded to Sea Smoke, then somebody else could ride him while Laenor is alive.
Yeah, I also think that there could be like I don't know. I know this is gonna sound silly and strange, but like you could easily make that work with like a like decoupling by choice, right? Like if Laenor says to Sea Smoke, "I will never see you again," like I don't know,
Like Arya and Nymeria.
exactly, right? Um, Nymeria then is like Nymeria could if Arya willingly severs the connection, um, like Nymeria could just take another person, right? Um, and like a lot of the fandom is really confident in like the solo dragon rider position, and I'm like, I don't know, that's so easy to hand wave away, right? Like,
Well, but
no, Laenor's been gone for 10 years. Like, if you don't, maybe if you don't ride your dragon for a period of decades, the bond degrades.
well, so like I think there's like a blood magic bond ritual because like Daenerys has trouble controlling uh Drogon in the book. Um, and then we see that with Arya and Balerion. Like just riding the dragon is not the same as like being psychically bonded as dragon and rider. And we see that like, the dragons are intelligent and like they take directions from the dragon keepers in the dragon pit. So it could be, like, and actually, I think this is a good explanation for what happened with Aemond and Vhagar. That Aemond went and started writing Vhagar, and he spoke Valyrian and was like confident and everything. So it might be like uh that Vhagar is tolerating Aemond, but they are not bonded in the same way as like Daemon and Caraxes, where Daemon has this like psychic bond, and
Interesting.
Caraxes like hears his thoughts,
Interesting. There could be, and I would love to look at the precedent here. This, I like this argument. Could it be the case that a dragon literally can only ever take one rider? Like Vhagar has had many riders, but um, it could be the case that these are riders that Vhagar has chosen to let ride her, and not those that have bonded with her. The only one that she's ever bonded with was her original rider, who I
Mm-hmm.
don't
Yeah.
know. I don't think it was.
I don't think it was Visenya.
Yeah, but I.
I think it was somebody before that, or it could be that like the first person Vhagar bonded with was Visenya. But either way, somebody prior to Viserys's dad.
Yeah.
We don't they don't ever explicitly make hard fast rules for dragon bonding in the show,
Yeah, and
so
I think
they can
that's
also
probably
just
intentional.
they can pick this up. In the books, it's a lot more clear. In the show, they have ducked that conversation to give themselves some room, and that's one of the things I don't mind them changing. If you might break a rule later, never establish it.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's something they left open-ended, because like we see Daemon acquiring throughout season 1, Daemon acquiring more knowledge about like the nature of dragon hatching. And so this is something that like I put forward in the video, that we see Daemon at the end of episode 10, or like toward the end, singing his dragon song after his daughter dies.
Hell yeah.
And he's been collecting the eggs to put them in incubators and stuff. So I think he's being a lot more deliberate about it and following the old ways, unlike Daenerys, who was just kind of figuring things out as she went.
Scared me so. Yeah, I think that this is a very good position to take. That like it seems at this moment that Daemon is the only person who is like trying to be versed in dragon lore.
Hmm.
Um, so he might literally be the only person alive who knows how this works.
Yeah.
Which is very cool and very interesting. And is it to wait, no, it's not Tessarion. Tessarion's little. What is the name of the old king's dragon?
Oh shoot.
Who gets ridden by Hugh Hammer? Question mark.
Um.
Right. It's Jaehaerys's and Alysanne's dragon that are ridden by
Yeah.
Hugh Hammer and Ulf White, and I can't remember their
Yeah.
names. Uh, uh,
Vermithor.
yeah, Vermithor and Silverwing. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, hell yeah, yeah, freaking nerds, let's go. Is
Yay.
this Vermithor? Did we establish?
Maybe.
I think.
Because I'm pretty sure it's confirmed that Daemon is singing to Vermithor in episode 10. Um,
Yeah.
and I think, and I haven't checked it. I think this is the same dragon. Scary, scary by the way. Look at this thing. Look at that. Look at that thing. Oh hell yeah! Oh my god, I'm so excited. Oh my god. Uh, Sidebar: Zach and I speculated that Rhaenys is going to die in episode 4. What do you think of that?
Yes.
Okay.
Episode 4
Um.
is called The Dance of the Dragons, or The Dance of Dragons, or something like that.
Well, so I saw something interesting that some people think Rhaena is gonna go to, is it Tumbleton? Or no, Rook's Rest?
The Battle of Rook's Rest, yeah.
Yeah, and that Rhaenys's purpose in going to Rook's Rest would be like because Rhaena went, and so it might be and spoilers everybody's that Rhaena might die at Rook's Rest rather than Rhaenys.
Look, if you've gotten this far, and you are worried about spoilers, I mean, like, kind of bad news.
Yeah.
um, I don't know how much I don't know how much heat we can take for that.
Yeah, no.
That's very interesting. Uh, oh boy, that would be a brutal fight,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because Rhaena's dragon is very little. Because
Yes,
now
very tiny.
that would be an interesting change. How would that change work? Because now spoilers for seasons 3 and 4. Okay, spoilers for seasons 3 and 4. Okay, I'm warning you. Rhaena dies fighting Sunfire.
Yes.
Uh, late in the show. Uh, they could. I mean, conceivably, they could replace that with Bela on Sheepstealer
Mm-hmm.
if they wanted to.
Yeah.
But then
That's probably the way to do it.
they would have to change the campaign in the Riverlands. But to be honest, I imagine that they're gonna cut like half the battles anyway, just for time. So they could probably change that to make it work.
I think we're probably gonna get a super cut of some of the like smaller battles too. It's gonna
Sure.
be
Yeah.
it's gonna be like a little Dark Age edit of Aegon brooding over like map of Westeros while his armies commit war crimes in the Riverlands.
Hey, I have a sidebar. I wish that they hadn't leaked the name of the first episode.
Because now you know
Yeah.
for sure what happens by the end of it.
Well,
You can't watch that episode and have any amount of suspense.
and also nerds who haven't read the book, like that title is what it is.
It is very blatant what is going to happen. A
Yeah.
son for a son. Yeah. Okay. We know what happens in the episode now. It'd be like if the Bells was called Danny Burns King's Landing.
Yeah, yeah, right. If like if that was called the Fall of King's Landing, like you can be pretty sure who wins that battle. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, exactly. No suspense whatsoever.
a son
So
for
if
a
the long
son.
if the long night was called Bran wins.
Now
Mm-hmm.
they might think they might not know who is gonna die, but they know somebody's gonna die, and I think that that sucks a little bit.
And
Well,
a son for a son, it
oh,
can only be so many characters.
so one way that they might change it is if instead of Aegon's son, if it's Daeron, that one of Alicent's sons for Rhaenyra's son.
Interesting. Now, see that would be feasible if we had Daeron set up at all. If he
Yeah.
shows up and dies 45 minutes into the first episode, I will not feel terribly emotionally attached.
It's like when they killed off a Smormu 10 seconds after introducing him to Smiling Friends.
Okay, now here's some stuff that like one of the things that I love about this book is how unreliable the story is.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so Laenor is dead in the book, right? We are told that. We are told that explicitly because that is what the historians recorded.
Yes.
Uh, I don't remember his name, but the kid uh, uh, of Aegon and Helena is dead in the book because that's what is recorded. Um, is there a world in which that kid is kidnapped instead?
And becomes Gaming Pale Hair.
Yo! That's ridiculous. I
I
love
love
it.
it.
That's so good. uh wait, I think about that all the time. I'm like, okay, so what characters could they keep alive if they wanted to? Right? What characters could they have in the back pocket?
Oh,
Right?
and that could be what they do instead of Daeron.
They could just have
Have Aegon's son be kidnapped and then have that son fulfill Daeron's role
Yeah.
later.
Interesting. Interesting. Y'all been barking up this tree for a while. I am of the opinion that Harwin Strong is like being kept alive in the bowels of the Red Keep.
Not Harrenhal?
I wouldn't think that Larys would. I guess Larys could keep him in. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, that makes way more sense.
Lyris is the lord of Harrenhal, so
Yeah,
nobody would go messing, and he left some of his dudes there.
it's a great point. Yeah, I am of like. I think that Harwin Strong is alive because one second we see him like pounding on a door, uh, and then there's like a little bit of debris that falls and it obscures the camera.
I mean, you
Uh,
cut out again, Tom.
oh, sorry. Is this good? How we doing? Uh-oh. My internet's
Yeah, I
going.
can hear. We can hear you.
All right.
You cut
Uh,
out for a while.
Oh, wait.
we're losing Mira. Oh,
Oh,
it's
I
it's
think
on
it's on.
Mira's
me.
end. Oh no.
Yeah, I think it's on
Okay.
yours.
Uh,
Oops.
well, what I was saying is, we see a little bit of debris fall and it obscures the camera, and then the next thing we see are a few like unrecognizable charred corpses being carried out of that place. And this is 2 episodes prior to a different burnt body death fake out. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's like that is so the kind of thing that Larys would do. Squirrel away
Oh,
his
yeah.
brother and keep him starving under Harrenhal to be used as a pawn at a later date.
Oh, and speaking of other fires where Laris failed to kill the target, Miss Arya is still alive.
Yeah, there's so many. Nobody has died by fire so far, including Lena. Lena's fine. Don't worry about it. Man, that scene's really good and truly miserable.
Yeah.
I like this show. It's great. I'm so excited to be excited. Being
Yeah,
excited is so fun. Man,
I think. Do we have anything else trailer wise we want to go over, speculate about, or
yeah, I'll just like flip through it one more time.
Oh, you know what I
They
love?
gotta have a horny scene in the trailer. They gotta have one horny shot. It's unavoidable.
Yeah. Um, no, what I absolutely love is Aegon's theme. The do 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 do. Oh my god, it's so what's the word? Like creepy, like ominous. Ominous, that's the word I want. Because it was all through episode 9. His little
Oh,
leitmotif.
oh
Do do
yeah,
do 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 do.
yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Is that the one that's playing super quietly, like right at the beginning, like on like a light piano?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Like
and
while the
and it's
oh, go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say I'd love to get Sideways or Glidus on this. It sounds like an inverse of the do 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 do. Because like
Ooh,
minor's the inverse of major, right?
yes, you can do the minor
yeah, that sure
invert of
sounds
it.
like
Oh
something.
yeah,
Correct.
Zach, you're a music guy.
That I am.
Zach's
If you
album
let me,
available for purchase now, by the way.
it is available for purchase now. I should have a cover one done soon. Uh, let's see. Aegon's theme, House of the Dragon. Let me see if there's sheet music
Yeah,
for it.
because
Aegon's
do
coronation.
do 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 versus do 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 do.
Look at this handsome man.
Oh, I love it. Somebody call Glidus. Tell him I did a music
Oh,
theory.
oh, yeah.
Hold
Look
on,
at these.
hold
Look
on.
at these fucking
I got
shoulder
it.
pads. Look at this outfit. These
I'm
outfits are
doing
so
something.
good. Look at this fucking dragon scale shoulder pads. It's so good. Oh, can I get this as a? Can I get this caption too? I don't know what the caption would be, but it's a very funny shot. Oh my! After the Family Feud video, I had a really wonderful like 25 minutes where I was just like I was playing the pause the game on any close up game. You just pause it, and no matter who's talking or what they're saying, the pause is always hilarious. It's just me like emoting dramatically with a full double chin, or or Zach like doing like the conspiracy chalkboard like hand wave behind him. It's so good. Oh man, it's so funny.
Yeah, that video was so fun to put together. It took me way longer than I intended it to. And so the next game we play, I'm gonna record everyone locally. Oh, which for everybody listening, there's gonna be an amazing mega game that you need to tune in for. It's gonna be on my channel, and Tom and Zach are gonna be in it, and it's gonna be the most epic, incredible thing I've ever done in my life. So stay tuned for that. And I'm not gonna
Yes.
tell you anything else.
So
Which
I
means you
think
should go subscribe to Mira right now so you don't miss it. Turn on that bell icon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And imagine all the Tom and Zach that you'll get. There's Zach actually appears quite a bit on my channel. Tom sometimes. Like
yes.
probably at least 5 of my videos have Zach in them.
We have closer sleep schedules than Tom and you.
Tom's a weenie and goes to bed by midnight like a good adult.
Yeah,
Oh man,
that's impossible in my line of work. It just doesn't happen.
excuse me. I need to
To
take
answer
another
your
shot of
question,
Benadryl.
if I am not horribly mistaken, the theme of Game of Thrones is uh a that is in E flat major, which is also C minor in terms of the relative
C
uh
minor, put it in C minor.
C minor. And uh I think that it's B minor is Aegon's coronation theme, which is not it's not the parallel or the fuck, what's the term? I started off as a mashup artist. If I should know anything, it's this. But to
Yeah,
answer your
dude,
question,
Zach, I
I
have a
don't think
joke in the hopper. You gotta finish this bit. You gotta
He,
finish it before it leaves.
to answer your question, I don't think so, but I'll defer to Glidus if he has a different answer.
Okay,
well,
thank
it's
you.
like
Now, I got. Hang on, just one before it
okay.
slips away. I must be Tom Cruise because I'm wondering where all the good men are. Where have all the good men gone? That's what I. There it is. All right. Go ahead.
So like if you're looking at like the staff notation, because I don't know if it's I don't think it's Aegon's coronation theme, it's Aegon's leitmotif. That do 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 do. Let me see
I
if I can
think
find it.
hold on.
While y'all are doing that, I'm
Um
just gonna look at these Lannisters.
because I think if you look at the staff notation that they will look, the shapes will look inverted. Because
I
do
am
do
I
do 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 do. Like tell me that's not those shapes go together.
Yo, where is this by?
I can't find any Aegon theme that is not his
W-
coronation
Well,
online. So
I don't think it might not be called the Aegon theme. It might be like the Green Council theme or like Glidus will know. What let me just ping him. You want me to see if he wants to come over?
Yeah.
hold on.
No, no, no.
I'm gonna be honest.
I am too tired for another
Yeah,
guest.
I was about to say the exact same thing. I'm too tired to not wrap this up in 10 minutes or less.
All right. I'm actually gonna call it right now. You can return for a music theory video over on Mira's channel, probably within the next 24 hours, I think.
Oh, where I harangue Glidus? No. No. If you want music, if you want actual music theory, go watch Glidus.
Yeah,
Go watch Sideways.
they are really good.
Yeah.
Glidus did one that's like what's the name of the guy who does most of the music?
Um uh Javardi.
Yeah, it's Ramin Djawadi is a genius. Is one of
Girardi did that
one
one.
of those.
Yeah.
Ramin Djawadi
Is actually perhaps my favorite Gladys video. It's really good.
who's a
Yeah.
man who's very happy they allowed proper names in Scrabble, presumably.
All right, everybody, look at this picture of Vagar and then say goodbye.
Ooh.
Goodbye,
Night, everybody.
Vagar.
Goodbye.